Welcome to the Newton & Willows FC podcast. Each episode we'll be bringing you news, reviews and previews and everything Newton & Willows FC. The boys, the girls, the men, the ladies, the kids, everyone. Are you a player? Are you a coach? Are you a fan? Come on and listen to this amazing episode. Hi and welcome to the Newton & Willows FC podcast with me, Rob Fladder. This week I'm delighted to welcome Chris Walker to the pod. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for the invite. Looking forward to it.
You're more than welcome, mate. More than welcome. And thank you for accepting that invite without any arm twisting from Mr. Tidder.
Correct.
I know that you didn't need an arm twisting.
Correct.
So, look, Chris, a long association with the club, you do a lot with the club over a long period of time. We do have some background noise, which is great for the authenticity. But just a quick question: how long have you been associated with Newton & Willows?
Yeah, my lad started under sevens, but I was obviously before Andy set up the academy. So under sevens was our youngest team available. So my lad Owen joined under sevens, and like everybody does, you get involved as a coach, as a support. He's now in his third year open age, so I reckon that's about 15 years with the club now.
Amazing. And that is a consistent story that I've heard a number of times on the podcast. You start off with bringing the kid down, and next thing you know, it's a lifelong labour of love. And some people are a little bit are forced. I say forced into it. That's encouraged. But then we love what we do.
Absolutely. I mean, the encouragement part was obviously our great ethos is to get every kid into sports, into activities, and at that age, sevens, they're into everything. So he was doing the football, he was doing the tennis, he was doing the judo, etc. The only one he didn't have a dabble on was rugby, which is fine. But yeah, that's how we all start, all for the love of our kids enjoying themselves and getting out there enjoying themselves.
Amazing. And then from that, you progress and tell everybody, what do you do for the club today?
Right, I'm the club treasurer, and obviously since we incorporated into the charitable incorporated organisation, we are trustees.
Amazing. So you look after the purse strings?
The purse strings, trying to keep everybody in tow, trying to keep everybody happy with regards to can I have another batch of footballs, can I have another batch of first aid equipment. Yep, we look after the numbers.
How difficult is that, or is it not so difficult?
It's a combination, insofar as our subs, we know, are relatively low within the area. The reason why they're low is they are affordable. And we operate on a mechanism where probably around about the 60-65% of our total income is derived from our subscriptions. Okay. Now, that might sound strange. You might think, well, that seems too low. But the buy-in is very much the other income being our raffles, our academies, the grants, the sponsors that we get. I mean, I'm absolutely bowled over with the sponsors that we've got in this area. Being a great community club that we are, I think that really does sell it to businesses and within the community to, come and support us. So that equates to about 35-37% of our revenue, which in turn keeps our subs at that affordable level.
We've had the guys on that look after someone, helping out, getting those grants and moving things around. So a big shout out to them. But for you, it must help because that your line, the role you carry out is very important. You have to make sure, there's a load of compliance alongside that. Yeah. But when people do keep coming asking for this, that, and new balls, new first aid kits, it must make it a little bit easier to say yes or bear with rather than to keep no.
Absolutely, Rob. I mean, we do not say no. We've got a great relationship with our kit suppliers. Mm-hmm. We are one of 200 in the UK Nike partner clubs. Yeah, and we'll talk about that in a little while. That really opens the door to the brand that we want to support Newton & Willows FC. So that's really important to us. But from a point of view of the money, yes, we're fortunate that the subs and the income stream allows us to manage the business. I mean, you mentioned about compliance, etc. Since we went over to the CIO status, and therefore became trustees, it really opened up the compliance part of it. Mm-hmm. There's something like 40 44 pages of tick box reports to compile the annual accounts, which are obviously published. They are independently verified, and they go onto the public domain. So it is there. So if you wanted to search on the NLWFC charitable number, you could find us, and the accounts will be there. It's what we present at the AGM, and they're filed accordingly to the timetables.
So I've said this, I think when I was speaking with Tom the other week, we discussed it. It's very much run like a business.
And without a doubt.
The standards of the club are up there, right up there, as if it's our own business. Yeah. But for you in particular, I can imagine it takes up a lot of your personal time. It's not just, as someone paid the subs committee, make sure we bank it and show it. It must take up a hell of a lot of time.
It does take a lot of time. But you know what? Since we've expanded the trustees, and we've got people who are taking their responsibilities in their areas, their speed of work getting done, the speed of how we turn things around. We're lucky that we've got everything filed away where it should be, safely, access to relevant people, got relevant information. Obviously in the digital world that we're in, the bank statements are all online and things like this, and these are these sort of core things that the guys, Tom and Emily and Craig, that joined us, that they need to get the grants out really quickly. So, we can get a lead, we can react to it, sort of more or less, straight away on online real information. The published accounts are there, they're done. The bank statements are there, they're done. Those are the two main critical areas that form, the grant status.
Which really helps the club. And like you said, this is something that we become reliant on almost, but it helps not just thinking about New to the Willows, all those associated. So, the club has expanded. There's 40 odd teams, and that includes Pan Disability. And those grants really go towards that effort
Absolutely.
as well.
I mean, one of the main grants that we got was like a £9,500 for disability football, which Andy took the reins, and we're going to Willowbrook. And together with an external training company, they were delivering the courses, for us. The feedback from that is just absolutely tremendous. And do you know what? Within the community, that is a massive, massive tick box for us, because the guys that are coming, the kids that are coming, and they are repeat. The consistency is there. They will come back week after week and thoroughly enjoy themselves in that environment that is suited for their needs.
Another message I hear time and time again on this podcast is about the importance of children coming back, children enjoying, and the safety. Just going back to the accounts, I mean, we do, those that are not working in accounts or responsible for it, we always, you're the bean counters, you're this, that and the other, and sometimes a bit of the enemy, but it's only typically because we don't understand, right? How difficult at times is it to get people to understand the importance of, when we do take money in, we have to do it carefully and responsibly, and we have to be able to demonstrate that we look after that and we spend it correctly. Does that pose a challenge at times here?
Do you know what? Obviously, working in finance, it's second nature to me.
Yeah.
The standards, the compliance that you're going to adhere to is second nature. It's within my sort of DNA, as it were. But with the trustees, that we've got for, second signatories on payments and things like this, I mean, we do, weekly payment runs, things like this. The guys submit their expense claim form to referee expenses. And they know that, they can send it, safely, electronically, and they get paid electronically. So gone are the days of the cash. Cash used to be a real issue. I mean, once upon a time in the early days, we used to get somebody coming up to the training and say, "Can you just stop training, please? Can you bet me £2 or £3, sub speed that is overdue, please?" None of that now. None of that now. All the subs are, collected electronically through an external source again, and that's great for reporting. And it is the way of. It's where it's going, isn't it, these days? I mean, people pay by direct debit, they pay by standing orders. That has taken a huge amount of pressure away from us as trustees, and also the coaches. They get on with coaching the teams. They're not there to go and collect money.
Absolutely. I think that there was a meeting that I attended back in September, the first time I come to the club, and I didn't realise just how much was put on a coach, actually, when I think about first aid, coming to collect keys, kits, footballs. it may sound obvious, but a lot of it I just thought turn up, teach the kids to run around a bit and a bit of skills and come back. But there's a lot. So the work that you do and making sure that you make it as easy for those guys as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that is what the coach is there for, to coach. Yes, we seek their assistance if, if we haven't got sort of non-payers, etc. But the idea behind that, Rob, is that they are seeing people, when they bring the children, to play, as it were, to play football. So it's not like they'll get a red letter, sent to my post or email or anything like that. We try and keep it as informal as possible.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the coaches, help us, with that as well. But it's really a case of, compliance, and really we've got to keep the subs rolling in to keep the standards that we've got, to keep the group progressing. Mm-hmm. I don't like to increase subs, try and justify all our sub rates, but sometimes, we just have to, because, out there everything is increasing in costs. But again, we're very sort of sympathetic to that. We don't want to stop any child playing football. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
It is great, as I say, that the subs are at that level. We think they're affordable. We know we're on the lower competitive rate in the area, so hopefully that's a big positive plus for us. But again, that's countered by the other income streams.
Yeah.
They are so important to us, and we get a great buy-in from that. So it's a win-win situation, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think enough's said about that. I love the word you chose there, affordable. I think people say cheap or expensive, and that's relative. It always is. What someone thinks is cheap, it could be expensive to somebody else, but affordable is a real term.
Yep.
We look at cost of living, we look at, everything else goes up in our world. It never comes back down, and it would be a shame if children couldn't get out of the house and come in a safe, fun environment for an hour a week or whatever it is and go and play on a Saturday or Sunday because of cost.
Yep.
And, football is a working class sport.
Yep.
It always has been,
Yep.
should always be in our minds. And the work that you do to keep that low, fair play, mate. That I'll say that on behalf of parents. Forget whether it's Newton or Willows or not. Fair play, because it's nice to know that that's being done for children. I look at a lot of them as I drive home from work, and they're hanging about on bikes outside McDonald's or other fast food chains are available. But it's good that, just go and apply yourself down there, and it's affordable.
That's it. It's got to be affordable. Certainly, when I do the accounts and I can see how much, we're paying for this and we're paying for that. Yes, it's affordable, but we don't want to take any shortcuts. For example, the total we pay on winter training, which is obviously in, 3G and other areas, that is, £44,000. And, as a number, that's a high number. That is approximately half of our subscriptions. Mm-hmm. And then when we add on to that the trophies that we do for end of season awards, etc., we don't like to scrimp on those. We want a good, affordable to us trophy that the child will look at that and go, that's good. Yeah. Same with our tournaments. Medals. You can get a medal or you can get a very good medal, and we will pay for a very good medal because it's all affordable. And it is great when you're doing the tournament and you can hear the buzz. Wow, look at these.
Yeah.
They're better than that one that we went to the other week. And sometimes, the runners-up don't get a cup. The winners will get a shield. Yeah. Our winners will get a cup. And our winners will get a cup. And the whole winning team and the runners-up get medals. And we just think it's so important to reward. Yeah. We say children, obviously 16 and 17-year-olds aren't children, but it's so important to reward them. And it's within our business model, to make sure that all those costs are covered. And, another thing about the costs, if I can, the cost of training courses. Mm-hmm. It astounds me when you can read on social media about how much people are paying to their club for subs. And then they say, oh, but we have to pay for this and we have to pay for that. I mean, £165, the base level 1 coach cost. In our development plan, we want higher levels of coaches, so we fund that as well. And we get that by moving into the Nike Partner Club, which, if I can sort of talk about.
Absolutely, yeah. Please seamlessly go on to that.
We were scheduled. and went to 3-star accredited, our kit supplier said, this I know opens another door for you, the Nike Partner Club. And with all the years, because obviously it's a brand,
huge global
England,
brand.
England are wearing it and everything else. So we were told that we'd like to invite you. And that word invite, because there's just 200 clubs in the UK, 40 in the Northwest. And they recognise that 2-star, 3-star accredited clubs have got the race in order.
Yeah.
And I say that, really as a massive achievement for us. We are run as a small business. And sometimes that's hard to say to mums and dads who got little Tommy and little Jessica coming and playing football.
Absolutely.
But it's a business. But the business is run so that you can play football in a safe and warming environment. So the Nike Club Partnership, as I say, they benefit us with a training bursary. So based on the number of clubs you get X number of revenue. So that equates to just over £4,000 for a year.
Wow.
And that equates to like 24 coaches. Now, if we didn't have that, we would have to increase our subs to cover that because every team has to have at least a base level coach. It also covers the safeguarding and the first aid costs, which get a prerequisite to being a coach for the team. And as I mentioned in the development plan, we've got UEFA Bs and Cs, so we've got a couple of guys who have gone through that and a couple more guys are doing that because we want to promote the coaches. They're giving up their time and their fun coaching, and if they show that they want to develop through that, then we will support them on that. But we can do that because Nike Partner Club affords us that bursary.
When I was talking to Tom, we were saying about some of the unseen benefits of the accreditation, and that's another example. We didn't cover that off, but to be invited by a global brand, and let's not forget that global. It's not just UK or whatever, but it's amazing. And again, we talk about standards at the club. People want to be associated. You get an award in a tournament. You get a cup if you come runners up or not. Come and put one of our kits on. It's Nike branded. There's a lot of attraction. Oh, and by the way, your subs are the lowest in the area. So we've got great facilities, great coaches. We invest in those. What's not to attract people?
Absolutely, Rob. And it's great teamwork. We've got a fantastic bunch of trustees. We've got a fantastic bunch of coaches. And as the teams keep expanding, more coaches, keep on coming in because I think they can see, what we do, how we do things, and we tick a heck of a lot of boxes that, we are doing things right, which is being recognised, and his development plan that he pushed us all to contribute to. FA template. I mean, what an achievement that is. The Nike Partner Club. Yeah, what an achievement, because not everybody can get it. The 3-star accreditation, it beats me how some teams don't shout up how they are accredited, either the 1 stars, the 2 stars, or the 3 stars. We will shout the 3 because, it means we've ticked a heck of a lot of boxes and we're being recognised as a well-run junior football club.
Absolutely, and I was speaking to 2 ex-coaches last week, Matthew and Liam, one being at the Championship Academy and one being in Philadelphia. But Liam comes back from Philadelphia, gets off the plane, and he says his first text is to the club: who's playing, who's training, when can I come down? And Matthew, being a home bird, wants to come back, and they still want to come down to the club, and that's it speaks volumes. These are young men, by the way.
Yes.
These aren't they've got social lives, they've got family, they've got other things they can do. But they want to come back, and that's ingrained in everything the club's doing.
And they started as kids within the club that have gone through the years, gone through the open age. Their dads have been, coaches, with the club as well. And it's just phenomenal that these guys, keep coming back to us and keep enjoying the socials.
Yeah, it is. And like tonight, we are down at the club, the AGM. It's going to kick off soon. Not literally, sorry, choice of words. But people are starting to arrive, but you can see it, and everybody's in their club shirts, and there's a nice vibe about it, and it's just the right thing that the club's doing. So just before we sort of wrap up, what What do you see, or what do you think about the future of the club and where the finances are, Chris? Is there anything you want the listeners to know?
Well, one of the buzzwords that we've mentioned tonight, and I've got down in my speech for the AGM, is consistency and affordable and fairness. The consistency part is our accounts really are quite consistent, but that's not to sort of be complacent, because if we don't get the buy-in from our sponsors, if we don't get the buy-in from the grants, we wouldn't be in trouble, but perhaps we wouldn't be able to keep as much going as we have got going now. We might stagnate and stand still, which we do not want. We want to keep moving forward. So from a point of view of where we're looking forward, let's keep going. Let's take it on board. Let's move that consistency into that level above consistency. But my sort of thought would be, if we have to increase subs, we're doing it for a reason. We will still make it affordable. We will still be under the market rate for your subs. But rest assured, from a public set of accounts that go out into the domain, as it were, you can see where every pound is spent in the club, and also where every pound is received into the club. So very much welcome anybody who'd like to talk about the finances and where we are and how do we see ourselves in the next year or the next 3 years. Personally, I don't see any problem. We've got the academy, keep churning out at least 3 teams, every year. We've got the age groups moving through to open age. I think, the club is moving forward. Perhaps not at a great speed as it was, moving from 20 teams to 30 teams to 40 teams. But we're moving great streams forward in our facilities, because we want the facilities to be there to match every team.
Well, I think that's well said, and I don't think people say well done and thank you enough to people behind the scenes. So, Chris, on behalf of everybody and all the members at the club, and there'll be plenty of them here tonight, well done and thank you very much, and thank you for ensuring that the accounts are in check, we are compliant, and that we're able to make football for children affordable. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cheers, Rob. Enjoyed it.
Take care.
If you enjoyed that episode, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button, like it, love it, share it. If you want to come onto the podcast, drop us a note on all the socials, or if you want to nominate someone coming on, that'd be amazing. We've got some amazing guests coming up again soon. Newton Willows FC, Forza Newton.